Pay off my girlfriend's family debts. I took any job I could get. Unclogging toilets, washing underwear, catching rats and roaches. Every single cent I earned went straight to her. It wasn't until I was hiding in an empty classroom, gnawing on a dry bagel, that I stumbled upon a post on the campus gossip app, Northwood Secrets. The title was, "How much did Plunger Boy, the spineless loser, make today?" The original poster was my girlfriend's childhood friend. That's when I learned her family wasn't bankrupt. I was just a prey in a rich kid's game. My whole body started to shake as I stared at the post I'd accidentally opened. It was filled with candid photos of me, taken from every possible angle while I was working. Each photo was posted by a different user, and each one had a number next to it, representing the payment I'd received. The comments below, every picture were dripping with malice. Who cares if he's top of his class? He's still just a toy for the rich. I live for dramas like this, watching the golden boy get dragged through the mud. I scrolled up to the very first post. The caption read, "Bathroom security, campus toilet plunger, you've earned yourself a 3-month girlfriend." Anna Miller's family had supposedly gone bankrupt, so to make extra money, I started taking odd jobs on campus. The first one was fixing a clogged toilet in a dorm. The picture showed the toilet spewing water everywhere while I was crouched on the floor, desperately trying to block the leak. By the time I was done, I was soaked, but I didn't feel miserable at all. I was clutching the $300 I'd earned. At the time, Anna didn't have a dime to her name. When she saw the cash, she was so moved she almost cried. "Noah, what would I do without you? All my old friends avoid me like the plague. You're the only one foolish enough to stay." My heart ached for her, and I swore I would earn more money to support her. I later found out that the person who hired me to fix that toilet was none other than Anna's friend, Liam Carter. The angle of the photo made it clear that Liam was the one who took it. From that day on, I had a new name on the app, Plunger Boy. I clicked on his profile. His first post was a picture of Anna, head tilted back, downing a drink. The caption, "Friend lost a dare," pretending to be broke to train a pet. Below that post, Liam was issuing tasks. Liam was a well-known rich kid at school, while I was just a good student living on financial aid. When he spoke, people listened. Fueled by a morbid curiosity, the number of posts exploded. Catching roaches, exterminating rats, cleaning bathrooms, washing socks, and underwear. Those were all jobs I had taken. I forced myself to swallow the rest of the bagel, then saw the thread had been updated. A new post, just moments old, showed a picture of me eating, secretly taken from the classroom doorway. "Look at Plunger Boy eating like a pig. So disgusting." In the photo, I was struggling to swallow. I looked up, my body stiff, and saw a figure disappearing down the hall. I chased after them, but they were already gone. I went back to my seat, and as I looked down, my phone buzzed with a new message. It was from Anna. "Hey babe, I'm Meechink. Don't forget to eat well too." Below it was a picture of a plain bagel. Anna's family had gone bankrupt 2 weeks after we started dating, buried under a mountain of debt. Her parents had supposedly fled the country with her younger brother. She claimed she was working 2 jobs a day and dealing with debt collectors. I felt so bad for her that I would always save my own meal money to secretly order a takeout, while I survived on bagels and water. I'd hesitate for ages before buying a 50-cent pickle. I thought those meals would be a small comfort in her exhausting life. But in that thread, I found pictures of her feeding my takeout orders to stray cats and dogs. My dog wouldn't even eat this garbage. I guess a few scraps are all it takes to make the poor boy heal. That wasn't the person I remembered. For the first time, I didn't reply to Anna's message. I put my phone away, threw the other half of my bagel in the trash, and canceled the sock washing job I had lined up. I headed straight for the place Anna supposedly worked. At this time of day, she was supposed to be a waitress at her friend's bar. I had worried about her safety at first and tried to convince her to find a different job. But she had looked at me with red-rimmed eyes, her voice choked with emotion. "You know how much debt my family is in. The pay here is high. I don't have a choice." A sharp pain shot through my chest. My lab experiment was about to wrap up, which meant a payout. I had planned to find more jobs to help her out. Now it all seemed pointless. When I got to the bar, I asked a waiter about Anna. Even though I already knew the truth, A small part of me still held onto hope. Anna? Anna Miller? Are you crazy? She's the owner's girlfriend, not a waitress. The guy looked at me suspiciously, then rolled his eyes. You must be new, starting so young, trying to latch onto a sugar mama. You haven't even graduated yet. Already tired of working a real job. He then handed me his tray. VIP room 204. It took me a second to realize that in my all-black outfit and the dim lighting, he had mistaken me for a new server. I found room 204. The moment I pushed the door open, my eyes locked onto Anna. She was sitting in the center of a group of people, the queen bee, adorned with designer bags and jewelry. There was no sign of bankruptcy. The bottle of wine she casually picked up was worth a normal person's salary for 5 years. My own hands and body were covered in scars, new and old, a testament to my hard work. They were rough and calloused. For her, I had given up all my personal time, always thinking we just had to get through this. I never imagined it was a bottomless pit. The last flicker of hope inside me died. As I stood there, stunned, someone pushed me from behind, and I stumbled into the room. I saw Liam sitting next to her, raising a glass. All right, everyone. Tonight's winner gets full control of Plunger Boy for a week. A chorus of cheers erupted. Anna just smiled without saying a word. Does Noah seriously not know that the pocket change he earns couldn't even buy one of the diamonds on Our Lady's nails? What does a poor kid know about the world? You can't push him so hard he robs a bank. That comment caused a stir. You know, we've never tried that one before. A few of them were already rubbing their hands together, scheming, completely oblivious to my presence. But what if Noah finds out and does something extreme? Even a cornered rabbit will bite. Someone suddenly raised the question. Hearing this, Anna let out a disdainful laugh. Too bad Noah isn't a rabbit. He's just my little dog. After she said that, the room exploded with laughter. A queen. Truly a queen. My grip on the tray tightened. It felt like someone was covering my mouth and nose, suffocating me. Speaking of which, Anna, you've been with Noah for a while now, right? And he's pretty good looking. You don't have any other ideas, do you? Anna's expression turned cold, her brow furrowing in disgust. The person next to her immediately smoothed things over. What are you thinking? The Miller and Carter families have been planning their marriage alliance for years. They're just waiting to get married after graduation. They're childhood sweethearts. Their bond is strong. Exactly. Who cares if he's handsome? He reeks of poverty. And now we're playing him like a dog. Having Noah as a toy these past few months has made life so much less boring. I clenched my jaw, fighting the urge to rush in and tear them apart. I left the VIP room and ran back to campus. The wind howled in my ears, my mind a complete blank. I don't know how long I ran. The crowds thinned, the streets narrowed. Finally, I couldn't go on and collapsed on the sidewalk, sweat and tears mixing as they dripped onto the pavement. I couldn't understand how people could be so cruel. She used to be so kind. After pulling myself together, I went to the apartment Anna was renting off campus. She had moved from a large house to this shabby, old place to make her part-time jobs more convenient. Any normal person would struggle to accept such a drastic fall from grace for an it girl. But Anna didn't complain. Together, we had cleaned this place until it was spotless. It was small, but it felt solid and real. She would curl up in my arms, so sweet and docile. Back then, I had secretly sworn to myself that I would never let her suffer again. Now, I just felt like a fool. The first time I met Anna wasn't in college. It was when I was 10. Anna and her parents came to the children's home for a charity event. She was wearing a princess dress, looking as delicate as a fairy. They brought lots of food to give to the kids. I was one of the older ones, so I stood at the back, planning to go up after the younger kids got their share. Unexpectedly, Anna noticed me. Why aren't you in the front? I was a quiet, sensitive kid back then. I just glanced at her and said nothing. She didn't press, but she took my hand and placed a piece of candy in my palm. If you want something, you have to go and get it yourself. After saying that, she was called away by her family's nanny. From that day on, those words echoed my mind. That piece of candy got me through every moment I felt like giving up. So when I saw her for the first time in college, I went for it. When it didn't work out, I accepted it. But then she approached me, and I was ecstatic. I took the bait without a second thought. Anna probably hadn't been back here in a long time. When I opened the door, a cloud of dust hit me. I had told her about my work with my professor on the experiment. She must have assumed I wouldn't be back. She probably counted on me never checking up on her, knowing I never used those gossip apps. That's why she was so reckless. I laughed at my own stupidity. I had just sat down on the couch when my phone started buzzing with notifications. It was my professor. Noah, have you thought about the study abroad program? I had to pull a lot of strings to get you the spot. With the success of this experiment, this will be your ticket. Don't worry about the money. I've already applied for a grant from the university. Opportunities like this don't come often. Staring at my phone, my eyes started to well up again. My professor is a research fanatic, completely oblivious to the campus drama. He was the one who discovered my talent in this field and fought for me to join the senior research team, despite the objections. He had mentioned the study abroad program to me more than once, and each time I said I'd think about it. I was worried about Anna. I couldn't bear to leave her. But now, I had nothing left to worry about. After replying to my professor, a sense of calm washed over me. First, I posted a message on the campus job board saying I would no longer be taking any gigs. Then, I sent a message to Anna, telling her I was waiting for her at the apartment. Anna didn't reply. I leaned against the couch and stubbornly waited until dawn. I took one last look at this place, filled with sweet memories. After today, everything about Anna Miller would have nothing to do with me. The moment I arrived at the campus gate, a group of students who had been waiting there started snapping pictures of me. They must have seen my post on the job board. I didn't tolerate it. I walked up to one of the students taking photos. Either delete them, or I'm calling the police. After watching him delete the pictures and the backups, I turned to leave. As I walked away, I heard their disdainful voices. What a self-righteous jerk. I ignored them and went straight to the lab. The experiment was in its final stages and had been going smoothly so far. I was busy all day and didn't check my phone. When I finally did, I saw a dozen missed calls, some from Anna, some from an unknown number. I frowned and was about to call back when the unknown number called again. I answered, and a man's rough voice came through the phone. Is this Noah? I have Anna Miller. If you want her back, bring $5 million. This girl is quite a looker. If you dare call the cops, ha. Before I could process anything, the call was disconnected. Then they sent a video. Anna was tied up, crying and begging me to save her. The Miller family's corporation was involved in many industries. Even if they weren't bankrupt, they had plenty of enemies. Anna had been kidnapped twice as a child, but luckily, her family had always managed to get her back. So at first, I didn't think it was a performance. I'm just a regular person. This was my first time dealing with a kidnapping, and I couldn't help but panic. But I quickly calmed down. Anna's family wasn't bankrupt. $5 million was nothing to them. Without even changing, I ran out of the lab. I was drenched in sweat from anxiety. Of course, it was rush hour, and I couldn't get a cab. I was pacing anxiously with my phone when I suddenly noticed the page I had opened before the call. It was Liam's latest post on Northwood Secrets. Found a new game. Everyone, stay tuned. The picture was of Anna tied to a chair, winking at the camera. I stopped running and collapsed onto a bus stop bench, laughing at myself. I couldn't tell if it was disappointment or numbness. All I knew was that in that moment, the little image of Anna I held deep in my heart had vanished completely. I remembered the conversation I overheard at the bar yesterday. They really thought I would be their puppet. If I hadn't seen this post, I would have been. But not anymore. I wiped the sweat from my forehead and headed back to my dorm. As I passed a few students, I heard their whispers. Even my roommate was surprised to see me. I knew they had also commented on those posts. It was no surprise they had seen the latest one. I ignored them, put my phone on silent, grabbed my notes, and put on my headphones to study. It wasn't until 11 p.m. that I checked my phone. Messages from Anna flooded in one after another. Noah, save me. Please save me. They're going to beat me to death. It hurts so much. Noah, I don't think I can hold on much longer. I suddenly remembered the time when Anna had just started lying to me about her family's bankruptcy. She was cornered by debt collectors on her way home from work and had said the exact same things. That night, it was past curfew. I jumped out of the third-floor bathroom window, ignoring my sprained ankle, and ran all the way to her. Anna had insisted that I not call the police. I'm afraid they'll retaliate against you. You've already helped me so much. I don't want to drag you into this. My heart had melted at the time. In the end, I scared them off with a knife. Thinking back now, it was laughable. Those guys were supposedly hardened criminals. Why would they be afraid of a small fruit knife in my hand? It was just my own hero complex deceiving me. I sighed and replied to Anna's message. If you die, I'll come collect your body. Then I washed up and went to sleep. I saw Anna in the school cafeteria. She had dramatic, fake bruises painted on her face, and her eyes were red. A few students were sitting around her, casting glances in my direction. She walked straight up to my table. Noah, you're finally here. I didn't comfort her like I used to. I just watched her perform. Stop acting. I know everything. She froze for a moment, seemingly confused. Are you mad at me? Mad that I didn't reply to your message that day? I was taken by them that night. They're not human. They're animals. Do you know what they did to me? She sobbed and wailed until I put my phone on the table. I've seen all the posts. Her crying stopped abruptly. She raised an eyebrow and wiped away her non-existent tears. You're no fun. Let's break up. By the way, don't forget to delete all my photos. Otherwise, I won't hesitate to sue you for invasion of privacy. With that, I turned and walked away, saying goodbye to the belief I had held for over a decade. That night, I had a lawyer draft a cease and desist letter. Most of my photos on the gossip app were deleted. For the next few days, I helped wrap up the experiment, wrote my thesis, and prepared to go abroad. I hadn't paid much attention to news about Anna, only occasionally hearing gossip from my roommates. I heard the Miller and Carter families were moving forward with their marriage alliance. I didn't feel much of anything, but for some reason, after that day, I started seeing them everywhere on campus. It was like they were doing it on purpose. They went from being just friends to a deeply in love couple overnight. They held hands everywhere they went, being incredibly affectionate. It wasn't my business, but they seemed to go out of their way to find me and cause trouble. Because I had given Anna all my savings, I could only afford the cheapest meals in the cafeteria every day. The two of them, who never ate on campus, started frequenting the cafeteria. One day, I had just gotten my food when Liam blocked my path. Hey, scholarship kid, is that all you're eating? How pathetic. I ignored him and tried to walk around him to an empty table. Liam turned on a speaker, playing a recording on a loop. Your eyes are like stars, so bright they seem to speak. I saw you again today. You were as radiant and vibrant as ever. We're together today. This is something I never even dared to dream of. Don't worry, I will be good to you. When I'm with you, I always feel insecure. I feel like there's a wall between us, but I can't bear to leave you. Hearing this, I turned around, my body rigid. The speaker was loud, and students had stopped to watch the show. They burst into laughter, and my face grew paler and paler. Anna stood next to Liam, looking stunned as if she knew nothing about this. But a moment later, her expression returned to normal, a smirk on her face. These are my deepest secrets, now laid bare for everyone to see. It was a journal I had started years ago, a record of my feelings for Anna, words I was too insecure to say out loud. And now, they were being broadcasted for their amusement. Look how devoted our Noah is. A secret admirer. You probably stalked her too, didn't you? So creepy. But for a poor guy like you, you must have been desperate to be with Anna, right? You were probably thrilled when you heard her family went bankrupt. Liam looked at me with contempt. But Anna and I are getting engaged soon. No matter how happy you were, you'll only ever be looking up at us from now on. Liam held up their clasped hands. And you're just some trash from a children's home, born but not raised. I had a pretty good idea why Liam had always targeted me. When we started college, I was first in our major, and he was second. Liam had also wanted to join our professor's research project, but the professor chose only me. And then there was Anna. She probably didn't even know that Liam had been in love with her for a long time. I leaned in close to Liam's ear and whispered something. As expected, he flew into a rage, grabbing his tray and smashing it over my head. I dodged so it only hit my shoulder. At the same time, I pinned his arm, flipped him over, and got on top of him. He was caught off guard by my sudden move. By the time he reacted and started fighting back, I was already unleashing all the anger I had suppressed for so long, punch after punch. Do poor people deserve to be mocked, to be compared to the rich? I didn't understand their mentality. The police arrived and finally put an end to the spectacle. We were both taken in for questioning. Since Liam started it, and with all the evidence from the gossip app, the Carter family had no choice but to pay me to keep quiet. When I left the police station, Anna was waiting for me at the entrance. She looked down, and when she saw me, she smiled as if nothing had happened. As I was about to walk past her, she called out to me, "Noah." I didn't say anything and tried to keep walking. She grabbed my arm. "Let's talk." I pulled her hand off me. "No need. We have nothing to talk about." A look of displeasure crossed Anna's pretty face. "Noah, I won't bother you again. You better not regret this." The old me would never have refused her. After all, I had loved her for 10 years. I won't regret it. With that, I went straight back to campus. As soon as I got to my dorm, my phone rang. "Noah, how are things with you and your goddess?" It was my friend from the children's home, Chloe. She had studied abroad and was now working there. Because of the time difference, we didn't talk often. She was the first person from our home to go to college and the first to go abroad. Once she was able, she started donating regularly to the home and was the one who sponsored my education. I was following in her footsteps, trying to better myself. We broke up. I didn't tell her what had happened, just glossed over it. "Oh, you two finally got together. What happened?" I didn't say anything. She was the only one at the home who knew about my crush on Anna. Sensing my mood, she didn't press further. "Well, it's probably for the best. Her family stock is unstable right now. They had a problem with one of their products, and my company here is already preparing for the fallout. By the way, their new product seems to be related to your field of research." After a few more words, she had to go, but transfer me some money. "Eat well and get some rest." A wave of warmth washed over me. After everything with Anna, I hadn't felt such kindness in a long time. I put my phone away and got back to my study abroad preparations. Lately, however, Anna seemed to be intentionally running into me. No matter where I went, I saw her. Even Liam was nowhere to be seen. After being deceived, I was no longer the same person. One day, I had just left the lab when I got a call from the hospital. Mrs. Gable, the director of the children's home, had fallen. She was old, and the fall was serious. She was now bedridden. When she saw me, she felt like she was being a burden. "I'm getting old and useless. Who knows how long I'll be stuck here. The kids at the home are waiting for me." She sighed. "You have me now. Don't worry, just rest. I'll go back more often to check on things. You can count on me." Before I started dating Anna, I used to go back to help out on a regular schedule. After we got together, I hadn't been back in a long time. Mrs. Gable was about to say something, but her eyes lit up when she saw the person behind me. "Oh my, so this is why you haven't been back lately. You're in a relationship." I turned around and saw Anna standing there with a pile of gifts. I turned back. "No, she's just a classmate." "Hello, Mrs. Gable. I bought these for you. They're good for bone recovery. I've already spoken with the hospital director. They'll move you to a private room soon, and I've arranged for a professional caregiver. Please, just focus on getting better. Noah and I will visit the children's home often." Mrs. Gable's eyes darted back and forth between us. Anna was charming and sweet-talked Mrs. Gable, making her very happy. I tried to speak up several times, but never got the chance. Finally, in the evening, Mrs. Gable told me to take Anna out for dinner. Only then did I have a chance to ask her what she was really up to. "I can't afford to play games with you rich girls. If you want to play, find someone else. How much did all this cost? I'll transfer you the money." My words seemed to hit Anna hard. Her face was full of sorrow. "So that's what you think of me? Is it wrong for me to want to make up for my mistakes?" With that, she ran off, leaving me staring at her back, bewildered. Was I wrong? After that day, I didn't see Anna for a long time. The next time I saw her was at the children's home. I had brought a lot of things to give to the kids, but Anna had beaten me to it. When I arrived, she was already in the kitchen helping the cook, moving with a familiarity that suggested she did this often. Even the younger kids at the home adored her. The older kids teased us, and she didn't deny it. Anna asked to speak with me alone. For the sake of the kids, I agreed. She deliberately slowed her pace as we walked, trying hard to make conversation. She apologized for what she had done before. It was all Liam's idea. I didn't want to do it, but you know what he's like. The truth is, my life isn't as glamorous as it seems. I wish I could be as carefree as these kids, but I have too much responsibility on my shoulders. Her smile was pale. She went on to tell me a lot. She had a younger brother, just 10 years old, so she had to pave the way for him. I was born to be used. I've gotten used to it over the years. You're my only exception. I could see the pity welling up in her eyes. Anna paused, then continued to profess her feelings with even more sincerity. I sneered internally. How stupid did Anna think I was to believe her lies again? Because my professor's experiment was a success, many companies were now vying for it. But my professor's decision was not to sell, as it needed further research. Coincidentally, Miller Corporation was interested in the results of this experiment. Coupled with their own internal problems, they were counting on this project to turn things around. The Carter family was also in trouble recently. Anna's attempts to get close to me were all for this. The Carters also needed the Millers to recover so they could get financial support, which was why Liam had been out of sight lately. Sure enough, that night, Anna revealed her true intentions. By the way, Noah, your experiment was a huge success. I haven't congratulated you yet. I've booked a restaurant. Let's celebrate tomorrow. I refused without a second thought. I now understand the gap between us. I've crushed all those unrealistic fantasies. However, I didn't expect to see her at the lab the next day. I was holding a file and about to go find my professor when I saw Anna and a man coming out of his office. My professor looked displeased, only relaxing slightly when he saw me. Noah, please see our guests out. He then closed the door. The man saw me, a flash of contempt in his eyes, followed by a fake benevolent smile. You must be Noah, so young and promising. This is my father. Anna introduced him from the side. We should have met sooner, but I've been so busy lately. Since we ran into each other, let me treat you to dinner, uncle. I held up the file in my hand. My professor needs me for something. Please help yourselves. I made a gesture for them to leave. Anna looked unhappy and tugged at my sleeve. This is my father. I nodded. So what? Just another profit-driven businessman. Seeing my refusal, Anna's father's expression soured. Young people these days think they're so great, they've developed quite an attitude. Young man, I advise you to be a little more humble. With that, Mr. Miller waved his hand and left. Anna gave me a displeased look and followed him. After that day, I blocked Anna and started focusing all my energy on going abroad. I only breathed a sigh of relief after I had submitted all my applications. And on that very day, Anna came to find me again. She looked terrible. I had heard bits and pieces about her family's troubles, but hadn't paid much attention. Now all my focus was on myself, and the feeling was comforting. She blocked my path. Noah, can you please try to persuade your professor? So many people at Miller Corporation are depending on this. We just need this one project to get back on our feet. You love me, don't you? I'll marry you. We can get married, okay? I push her away. That's my professor's decision. I'm just a poor student. I have no right and no obligation to help you. And Anna, the person I loved was the 10-year-old girl with the candy, not the person you are now, who would do anything for profit. I don't love you anymore. You have no leverage. With that, I turned and left. For the next few days, Anna persisted in trying to find me, but I ignored her. Liam also came looking for me a few times with the same old contemptuous tone, but without the same force. He was like a declawed tiger, harmless. Without the support of his wealthy family, Liam was no different from anyone else. I finally relaxed when the school approved my exchange program. At the same time, Mrs. Gable had returned to the children's home to recover. When she saw me, her eyes were filled with anticipation. I knew she was asking about Anna. We broke up a long time ago. We're not right for each other. Mrs. Gable sighed. That girl didn't seem like she came from an ordinary family. I was worried you'd get led astray. It's good that things are settled now. I smiled to reassure her. On my way back, Chloe sent me a message. The Miller family is really going under. They've already declared bankruptcy overseas. Life is unpredictable. There's a lot to deal with now. Just keep your distance from Anna. Don't get involved. After replying, I saw the news. The Miller family was just an empty shell. By the time I had everything sorted out and my professor took me out for a farewell dinner, I learned that Miller Corporation had collapsed. It was also revealed that the family was involved in bribery. Mr. Miller was in custody, and Mrs. Miller had fled the country overnight with their young son, leaving only Anna behind in the country. All those debts were now on her shoulders. It was just as she had described in her fake story. The boomerang had come back and hit her. The Carter family was also in deep trouble, unable to save themselves. The past felt like a dream, and now it had all come true. Many people on the Northwood Secrets app were anonymously mocking them. See, after how they played Noah, it's all come true. Noah really had it rough. It feels good to see someone you dislike finally get what they deserve. Honestly, I'm really enjoying this. I want to see some major drama. What would happen if Anna went to Noah now? The person above has a bold idea. I love it. I'll bet a bag of chips that Noah will take her back. After all, he had a crush on her for 10 years. I don't know about that. I heard the Millers wanted to buy their research, and he didn't help at all. Besides, he's about to go abroad. Who would give up their future for a woman who lied to them? These are the same people who used to worship Liam and Anna. I found it amusing. Why waste time on other people's lives? I ignored them, but Anna really did come to find me. It was the same old act, replayed, but this time it was real. Noah, this time it's real. I don't know what to do. You're the only one I can turn to. Can we go back to how we were before? Look, this is what you bought me. I love it. Anna was holding a pink bracelet. I had bought it with the first paycheck I earned from a summer job after high school graduation. I never thought I would give it to anyone. It was just a memento for myself. I gave it to her on the first day we were together. She had been dismissive of it at the time. I thought she had thrown it away long ago. Since she hadn't, I would throw it away for her. I snatched the bracelet from her and threw it directly into a trash can. Anna looked at me in disbelief and even started to retrieve it. I found the scene laughable. Please don't be like this. I'm being sincere. I never felt my parents' love growing up. I finally found love with you. Why do you have to push me away? I laughed coldly. A rich girl from a perfect family who has never known what it's like to be poor shouldn't be playing the victim. Go see what it's like for people who can't even afford to eat, and then you'll know how lucky you are. Even a fallen giant is still a giant. I understand that much. Anna, you take me for a fool. If you had any self-respect, you wouldn't have come to me. That night, the campus app exploded again. See, I told you Noah wouldn't agree. Oh my God, Noah, you've grown a spine. I bet there's going to be a dramatic chase scene next. Anna follows him abroad for love, and they end up together. Don't let your imagination run wild. I was even more speechless. The best way to deal with this kind of thing is with silence. Eventually, people will forget. After that day, the school year ended, and I prepared to leave the country. As soon as I arrived, I met up with Chloe, whom I hadn't seen in years. It still felt very familiar. After catching up with my old friend, I threw myself into my intense studies. In my third month abroad, the Carter family also declared bankruptcy. This news didn't cause much of a stir. It was expected. After that, I rarely heard news from home. Only when I first arrived, Mrs. Gable told me that Anna had come looking for me a few times. The poor girl didn't look well. I don't know what happened to her family. Every time she came and heard you weren't back, she looked so lost. I didn't have many friends back home, so I heard even less about Anna. Life abroad was full of new and exciting things. Although it was a bit of an adjustment at first, I grew to love the pace. I dedicated myself to self-improvement and finally completed my studies 2 years later. I returned to the country 4 years after I had left. By then, I had my own research team. My professor's lab had made a new discovery and asked me to come back and help. I didn't hesitate, packed my bags, and left. As soon as I landed, I received a message about a college class reunion. It was from the class president. We've had so many reunions without you over the years. You're finally back. You have to come. He left me no room to refuse. At the reunion, many of my classmates were already married, with only a few still pursuing their studies. But everyone seemed to know a lot about me. They immediately congratulated me on winning an award and said I was successful. You were lucky you didn't get involved in the Miller family's mess. Otherwise, you'd still be helping Anna pay off her debts. I saw her just the other day. She's working as a bottle girl at a club now. It's a sad story. Her mom took all the money and left her with nothing. By the way, has anyone heard anything about Liam? I haven't seen him since the Carter family went bankrupt. I heard he's long gone. Chased by debt collectors, he couldn't handle the pressure and jumped into a river. The rich kid just couldn't take it. Then they toasted to my success for not being tied down by romance. I just smiled and said nothing. I hadn't heard his name in years, and I felt nothing. After the reunion ended, I took a call. The woman's voice on the other end was sweet. Babe, when are you coming home? We've been apart for 28 hours. I miss you so much. I smiled softly, my heart filled with warmth.